have any specific program concerning international students, as we have seen a number of international students leaving the campus in the last few years? This is directed at Travis.
One major issue for international students is the fact that the only place they can really work is on campus. And since there is a limited number of on-campus jobs, the job pool is, it's very small, and there's a lot of competition for those jobs. One area that you can't really expand jobs all that much on campus, unfortunately, due to the fact that there's just so much, the budget constraints are so tight. The one thing that could make up for that is the expansion of internships for all students, and international students included, that would have scholarships to go with them. That would give them income and work in their area of study as well. And this would essentially widen that job pool to make it more accommodating. So that's definitely one area for that international students would benefit.
Well, like Travis, like my opponent, Mr. Erickson, said, there is a shortage of jobs, or a limited number of jobs at least, here on campus with which international students can work, and even with which American students, whether Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and throughout the many other states, that there's only a limited amount. I would hope to work with the student governments, or with the university governments, including the faculty senate, and work with them to possibly pass, and talk with the Board of Regents, of course, and talk with them and hopefully pass a way so that we can create more on-campus jobs. It sounds like that there's going to be more on-campus jobs in the library, at least, with the new library being opened up. Once the new library is open, there'll also be increased jobs or increased hours here in the RSC for the food services, because the food service will now have to be open from open to close as long as the RSC is open, or some sort of food services. Now those are small steps, but we need to continue making those smaller steps, and if nothing else, start making larger steps, so that not only the international students, but the student body as a whole, because we are not segregated into international students and native students. I believe we are the students of the University of Wisconsin, and there is no way that we should continue having to pay this large amount of money for our education. Thank you.
Our next question is directed at Mr. Campa. Health services are vital to any type of population. The UWS Health Service currently outsources its health care. As president, would you work to bring at least a nurse to campus, or would you keep the status quo?
This issue was brought to my attention a while ago, and I've talked to the Dean of Student Services, Vicki Hieski, about the issue. After talking to her and seeing reports and letters and such from about our healthcare services from the past, it seems that I would want to keep the status quo. The reason for this is that because of us moving our university services to St. Mary's Clinic, we have actually a better health services. Because before we had the nurses and the doctors, it was kind of a haphazard system. It wasn't really organized. Now it's more organized. You can get in pretty much any time you want over there. The university pays for it. The university will pay for your cab ride over there. There's a prescription desk right there in the clinic, so you can pay for any medication you might possibly need as a result of your visit. So I would want to keep the status quo because I feel that it has gotten better, and with the status quo I would want to improve upon it. Not quite sure how much we can improve on it because of it being used through the hospital, but I would certainly try and find out other ways. Thank you.
The main reason why we have outsourced healthcare is due to retirements. Our nurse essentially retired, and it cost too much to replace her because the wage that she made, the salary that she made, and the benefits that she received were far below what the requirements are now. And so it was more viable to outsource it. However, I've heard from many students that the way it's set up now is very inconvenient. You do have to get a cab ride over there. However, you have to take time out of your day. Sometimes the cab ride doesn't show up when you ask. Sometimes I know students who've said it takes more than an hour for the cab to show up. And then you have to go over there, come back. It's not all that convenient. For international students, from what I have also heard, it may be inconvenient due to the need for insurance, and then there's the, they do have insurance, but it's not, it'd be much easier to have it here than have it elsewhere. How viable that is, that's more complicated. I think that would have to be looked into if we could bring it back to campus, and if it would be feasible, then I would support it.
Thank you. Our next question goes to the vice presidential candidates, starting with Joe Stensland. With the construction of the new RSC building and next year's temporary closing of the J. Dan Hill Library, how will you speed up the process and ensure the availability of these resources in the coming year?
That's a very good question. It happens to be something I've asked myself a while too. First of all, I have not been here since the Clinton administration. Second of all, as a former employee of the Jim Dan Hill Library, this was a question that was asked most of the time when they were in committee meetings. Let's face it, the library is going to be scattered. As many services they can concentrate on this campus will be on campus. Some of them are going to have to be off campus. How do you make sure that those services are available? Simple. It's a part of your tuition, it's a part of your fees, you have a right to it. And I think it would be student government's job to make sure that that is facilitated to the best possible process that is available to students that it can be. Making sure that students know what rooms are rented, what sources are available on campus, and make sure that there's access to those databases and specifically to books in general. It's a tough question. You have to make sure that there's enough staff available, enough student assists available to make sure that they have the capacity to be able to carry those services that everybody would be asking for. So it's really a play-by-play basis. It's a tough one to negotiate, but it can be done.
During the Clinton administration, I think I was in 3rd grade, so just wanted to get that out there. As for the transition, like I said, it is very important that this transition goes smoothly. As Joe pointed out, I mean, we're paying for these for the library and for the resources that it entails, and we deserve to have that open to us. I know that they're moving the library here in the RSC while they're doing the construction and things over there. And I think that the main thing that we need to focus on is making sure that there's enough faculty to make sure that the students know where it is. Again, making sure that the students know where it is. A huge problem is the communication between, the university and the faculty and the students. Making sure that students know that the books are still available to them. Sure, they're not going to be in the same place, but as long as we can keep faculty moving and stay on top of it, it shouldn't be an issue. So I guess along with all of that is just making sure that the communication is up and that